In this video, I'm going to explain the Framework EDI application, or otherwise referred to as the FrediApp solution. The FrediApp is a C# program to give programmers a framework of an EDI solution that they can build on. So, unlike our other example programs, like these Excel programs, each one showing either how to generate, translate, or validate EDI files, the FrediApp will encompass all those procedures, being an end-to-end solution from receiving inbound EDI files to sending outbound EDI files. Let me start the program and explain the parts as we go along. Let's open it up in Visual Studio. As you can see, the FrediApp is made up of 5 projects. Each one is a separate application of its own. They do, however, share a database and file folders, which I'll get to later. Each of these projects references the Fredi component. As you can see by going to the references. Now let me build these projects individually and run them. I'll try to explain their functions along the way. I'll build the FrediApp setup first. Okay, it is done. Now, let me bring up the File Explorer so that we can see what the program does. Okay, so in here we have the EDIDB database, which will house your company and trading partners' EDI information. It will also be the intermediary between your production database and EDI files. This is the FrediApp setup executable that we just built. Let me run it. Okay, we have 3 buttons. The Create Default Folders button will create the folders where the EDI file will be saved. I'll click on it now to create those folders. The AS2 output folder is where copies of AS2 files that you had sent and MDN files that were received are kept. The EDI 997 folder is where completed inbound 997 EDI files after being processed are stored. This folder is where inbound EDI files other than the 997 that were accepted and translated are saved. The EDI inbound folder is where inbound EDI files that were just received by the AS2 server and ready to get validated and acknowledged are located. The EDI outbound folder is where EDI files you generated and are ready to get sent are saved. This folder is where EDI inbound files that failed validation and rejected are moved. Outbound EDI files that were successfully sent are saved in this folder. Outbound EDI files that were not successfully sent are moved here. Now let me click on the My Company Setup button. This is your EDI and AS2 information. The definitions of this field can be found on our website, but I'll just highlight some of them. This field should have your company name. The value you enter in the EDI company ID field will be used as the interchange sender ID ISA06 of your outbound EDI files. But for inbound EDI files, this value should be in the interchange receiver ID ISA08. The value in the control number is the next available number that will be used as the interchange control number for the next generated outbound EDI file. This value is located in ISA 13 of your EDI file. Define your terminators here that your EDI files will use. AS2 company ID is your company ID that will be displayed in the AS2 from header of the AS2 message. Typically, this is the same value as your EDI company ID. The AS2 message ID is the next available number, and in conjunction with the company message domain will be used in the message ID header for the next AS2 message you will send. This is used to reference your AS2 message. In the cryptographic service provider, make sure to choose a CSP that will support the encryption and hashing algorithm that you and your trading partner are using. And the certificate subject name, this is the name of your security certificate that will be used to decrypt and sign AS2 messages. Its public certificate is what you will send to your trading partner so that they can encrypt the AS2 message they send you, as well as authenticate the message they receive from you. When I click on the Trading Partner Setup button, it will list out your trading partners. On this screen, you can add more trading partners or edit them. Let's click on the Edit button. So this field has your trading partner's name. This is your trading partner's EDI ID, which will be put in data element ISA 08 of your outbound EDI files and located in ISA 06 of inbound EDI files. These are folders where the EDI files will be located for this trading partner. And these are the AS2 specifications for this trading partner so that you can exchange EDI files with them via AS2. Okay, now let's take a look at the FrediGen Trading Partner A project. I'm going to go ahead and build it. Here's the executable program. The program has an example to generate only the A10 transaction set, which you can modify to your specifications. You can also add other transaction sets that you want to generate simply by copying the A10 example. I will show you how later, but first let me run through this process of generating an outbound A10 EDI file. If I click on the Generate button, I get an error message saying that there is no data. The idea is to first populate the tables in the intermediate database with data from your production database. As you can see, there are no records in the tables currently. Clicking on the Add Records button is to simulate the process of taking data from your production database and adding it into the intermediate tables. Let me go ahead and click on it. If we now check the tables, we see that they have data now. I should now be able to generate an EDI file. Let's take a look at the outbound folder to see the generated EDI file. Here it is. When viewed with a text editor, you see it's an 810 EDI file. This is our company ID. This is our trading partner's ID. And this is the control number. All this we had set up earlier in the FrediApp setup program. Let's close this now and take a look at the source code. So here is the script to create the tables for the 810 transaction set. We have a header table and a detail table. They are created in the EDIDB database under the FrediApp setup. This database is shared by all the other programs. Here is the 810 SEF file for this trading partner. And this is the application configuration. This is the connection string to the local SQL EDIDB database. The value in here for the trading partner key is the name of the trading partner that this program is specifically made for. This is important. The value here ties this program to the trading partner table of the EDIDB. And if this value is misspelled or incorrect, then the program will not be able to obtain the trading partner's information such as the ID, folder, settings, etc. These are default values. So if the EDI outbound or SEF folders have not been set up for this trading partner in the database, then these values in the configuration file will be used. This is the class for generating the 810. And here is the method that generates the EDI file. This is where the EDI mapping occurs, where you take data from the EDIDB database and assign it to a data element of a segment. Here is the addrect method. This populates the 810 tables with static hypothetical data. This Windows form is the user interface for generating EDI files. The code behind the buttons basically calls a method in the Gen810 class. For example, the generate810 button calls the generate method. The add records button calls the addRec method. Now let's say I also had to generate a 940 EDI file for this trading partner. To add that functionality, I would copy these buttons paste them, then I'll just rename them appropriately. Change that to 810 to 940. Button Gen 940. Next, I'll copy the source codes. I'll copy this and paste it here. Then I'll rename all 810s to 940. I haven't created the Gen 940 class yet. I will do that later. Copy this. Rename the 810 to 940. Place all. Do the same for view tables. Copy. Paste. I haven't also created the tables yet for the 940, and I will do that later too. Then I'll modify the generate all button to include the 940. Okay, that's done. Next, I'll make a copy of the Gen 810 class. Then rename it to CLS Gen 940. I'll open it and I'll replace all words with 810 to 940 for this document. The other thing I would have to change here would be the generate method. And the addRec method. So that they'll be specific to the 940 guideline for this trading partner A. But I won't cover that here in this video. We also have to create the schematics for the 940 guideline as a CEF file, as well as create the table scripts for creating the 940 tables in the EDI database. But I also won't cover those either here in this video. Now let's say we wanted to do the same thing for another trading partner. Then we would simply copy this project. For example, in our settings, we had already set up trading partner B. So let's create a project for this company called Trading Partner B that will generate outbound EDI files. So first we have to copy the folder of this project. Then rename it to the trading partner's company name, which is Trading Partner B. Then let's open the project in Visual Studio. Next, let's rename the project from FrediGen Trading Partner A to FrediGen Trading Partner B. Then let's replace any word that has Trading Partner A to Trading Partner B. Let's save this. Then close the program. And let's include it into our solution. And there we have it. Let's expand the project to see if everything is good. All the files seem to be here. As for the CEF file, I'm just going to rename this from Trading Partner A to Trading Partner B. In reality, trading partners usually have different specifications, so you should create different CEF files for them. Let's check the application configuration. Everything looks correct. The trading partner key has the correct company name. Everything looks good, so I'll go ahead and build it. is the executable file. Now, the source code behind the 940 buttons aren't complete because we hadn't created the tables and mappings on both projects, so I won't bother clicking on them. However, the 810 buttons were working in the Trading Partner A project, so it should work here as well, if we did everything correctly. So let's go ahead and test it. Let's add a record to the intermediate table. Okay, we see one record. Let's now generate the EDI file. Okay, it's done. Let's check the outbound folder. This is what we generated before from Trading Partner A, and this is what we generated now from Trading Partner B. Let me open the EDI files and compare them. We see that both look the same, and obviously so, because they were generated by copies of the same program. However, this one has Trading Partners A's ID code, and this one has Trading Partner B's ID code in the receiver ID data element position. And in the control number, this has number 70 and this has number 71. So these are the small details that the FrediApp has addressed that you would have to accomplish yourself if you were to write an EDI solution from scratch. So let me close all these and get back to the EDI file exchange. Okay, now we have two EDI files in the outbound folder ready to be sent to two different trading partners. Our next step now is to send them via AS2.